No room, no room, no room, no room.
No room. There's plenty of room.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid out for a great many more than 3.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Ah, we'll have some fun now. I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean you think you can find out what the answer is?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do at least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Isn't the same thing one bit? You might just as well say, I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You just might as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You may just as well say, when I breathe, when I sleep, it's the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same with you. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
But it was the best butter.
Yes, well, it must have got some crumbs in it. You shouldn't have used a bread knife.
It was the best butter, you know.
What a funny watch. It tells the day, the month, but not the hours.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not. But that's because it stays the same year for such a long time.
Which is exactly the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you.
The dormouse is asleep again.
Of course. That's just what I was going to say myself.
So, have you guessed the riddle yet?
No. I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
I think you might do something better with the time than waste it asking riddles that don't have an answer.
If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you don't. I dare say you never even spoke to him.
Of course not. But I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
That accounts for it. Exactly why he wouldn't stand a beating. No. If you were on good terms with time, he could do almost anything you'd like with a clock. For instance, say it was 9 o'clock, time for lessons. All you'd have to do is whisper a hint to time and in a twinkling of an eye, he'd change the time to 1 o'clock. Time for lunch.
That would be grand, certainly. But then, I wouldn't be hungry for lunch, you know.
Not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you like.
Is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarreled last March. Just before he went mad. It was at the grand concert given by the Queen of Hearts. I had to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at." You've heard the song, perhaps?
I've heard something like it.
It goes on, you know, like this. Up above the world so high, like a teapot in the sky, twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse when the Queen jumped up and yelled out, "He's murdered time! Off with his head!"
Oh, dreadfully savage.
And ever since that, he wouldn't do a thing I asked. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put here?
Yes, and we don't even get a chance to wash the things between the whiles.
Then you keep moving around, I suppose.
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Suppose we change the subject. I vote the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Then the dormouse shall do it. Wake up, dormouse, wake up.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellas said.
Tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it or you'll fall asleep again before it's done.
Once upon a time, there were these three sisters. Her names are Sue, Ellen, and Beth. And they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
They lived on molasses.
They couldn't have. They would be ill.
They were very ill.
But why did they live at the bottom of the well?
Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more of something.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of the well?
It was a molasses well.
There's no such thing.
If you can't be civil, then finish the story yourself.
No. Please, go on. I won't interrupt again. There may be one such well.
One indeed. And so, these three little sisters, they were learning to draw.
What did they draw?
Molasses.
I want to clean it up. Let's move 1+1.
I don't understand where they draw the molasses from.
You can draw water from a water well. So I should think you could draw molasses from a molasses well?
But they were in the well?
Of course, they were well in. They were learning to draw. And they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with M.
Why an M?
Why not?
That begins with an M, such as mousetraps and the moon and memory and muchness. You know, you say things that are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a much?
Really? No, you asked me? I don't think.
Then you shouldn't talk.
I'll never go there again. That was the stupidest tea party I was ever at in all my life.
I really want touching me.
Let's do the watch thing. Let's see how close I can get. Now, giving away the secret.
The secret of the watch. It tells not the hour, not the month, not the day.
It's not
Wow.
You love it.
It's a bracelet.
I win.
Gosh, Bershon, like that happened?
Yes.
These birds are so disrespectful.